Okay, so my story is basically probably about 5 years ago. I was having anxiety attacks, panic attacks, things of this nature, and a doctor prescribed me clozapam, which is the generic for Klonopin. He prescribed me 6 milligrams per day, which I was instructed to take 3 times a day as needed. And fortunately, I didn't really take that dose. And I managed to actually get down because he died. The guy died, and I switched doctors, and the new doctor told me that I wasn't enough for an elephant. So they took me down to 2 milligrams as needed once per day. Well, I started having some physical symptoms, some other problems with my histamine levels and allergies, and I started having panic a lot. So I started taking them almost every single day. And I had been through a couple of doctors, and they basically just kept up my med. I was doing fine. I never had any trouble getting them at the pharmacy. I never had any trouble with anyone accusing me of abusing them or anything like that. Well, hence 2022 comes along, and my insurance company drops my doctor. So my insurance company, because I moved, doesn't cover the area that I was doing telehealth. And long story short, I no longer had that doctor, and they gave me 4 month prescriptions for my various mental health medications, and I scrambled desperately for 4 months and hoped and looked, and I'm in an area that's kind of rural that has not a lot of doctors available that will take my insurance. And I finally found one, and they were able to do telehealth for me, and they just gave me my scripts right away, and it was literally in the nick of time, and I was so happy, and months went by, and was going to Rite Aid, and Rite Aid here is absolutely horrendous. I had like a gaslighting experience, so I decided to switch to CVS. And CVS got something mixed up and gave me my Benzo pill 10 days early. So I just basically, it said as needed. I would take half as needed, you know what I mean? Like here and there or whatever. And I've never really ran out or anything. So I never really I guess took it as prescribed, because the new doctor had prescribed it at night to go to sleep. And I had been used to taking it for panic and anxiety throughout the day. So I just continued to take it like I used to with my old doctor. And then one day I went to the pharmacy, and they're like, well, this isn't filled for 10 more days. And I'm like out of it. And I knew then that there was a chance that I could go into withdrawals. And I was scared. I was very scared because if anybody that has anxiety, if you read this stuff online about seizures and death and benzos being the hardest to get off of, it triggers your anxiety so bad, So the next day I called and I asked again about them prescribing it for me, and the girl on the phone said, oh yeah, it went through, we'll get it for you. Next thing you know, 10 minutes later, the pharmacist is calling me saying, we called your doctor because you're trying to pressure us into filling the script or blah, blah, blah. So next thing you know, I get a call from my doctor claiming that I'm not 10 pills over, that I'm 20 pills over the line, and that I've committed what they call not a criminal offense. What did they call it? Oh geez, I wish I had the paper. It's slipping my mind. I'm going through withdrawals. So criminal virtue is what they said. Criminal virtue is, I guess, that I was being deceitful or something of that nature. And basically, I mean, I've taken it for my histamine intolerance. I break it up and take it when I needed it and never thought anything of it. I had never, I ran out of it on the day that it was due to be ran out of, but I've never, gone to the streets for it. I've never, this is something about, they're very aware of overdosing. I've never used it to get high, anything like that. I just used it to help with my anxiety, and especially if you're familiar with the histamine issues, they can be really, really intense. And I tried to explain it to them. They did not want to hear it, They started saying that I had to come off of it. They started tapering me. And when they were tapering me so fast. I mean, I read, I'm in a group, there's groups on Facebook and stuff that, provide support for people that are going through this. And almost everybody in that group, they went through a year taper. A year, 8 months, 9 months, 7 months, you know what I mean? I'm being tapered so rapidly. I went from 2 milligrams to 1 milligram in literally 2 weeks. I was so sick. I just literally laid there with a garbage can posted up next to my bed. I couldn't do anything. I was horrible. And now I'm video documenting this because I'm once again in that predicament where I'm going from 0.75 to literally 0.25. A massive cut again. So right before Christmas, I'm a single parent. I have to be responsible for taking care of my son, pulling off Christmas. I tried to explain this to them. You know what I mean? They sent me for a drug test, and then they said that the Klonopin didn't come up in my system, which after doing some research, if anybody doesn't know this, Klonopin notoriously does not show up on drug tests. For whatever reason, the way it metabolizes, it's notorious for not showing up, especially if they're weaning you off and it's only trace amounts, that they actually need a blood test instead of a urine test. And they gave me a urine test, so then they were accusing me of it's not in my system and I'm abusing it and all this stuff. And then I went to the pharmacy, after I got this massive cut, I went to the pharmacy again and my script wasn't in there again. And and I called their Medline and I was direct, and I told them that my life has been like a living hell for the past month. I've literally been laying in bed. I've been barfing, puking. My vision is blurry. You know what I mean? I have anxiety off the chain. My heart's racing. I have air hunger. You know what I mean? I've itching. I lost 8 pounds, And then of course, see, this is the amount of freaking medications that they put me on. I'm trying to find the one. This is the one, he prescribed me this one here, fluvoxamine. Okay, and it's supposed to help with anxiety, right? It did help me sleep, I'll give you that much. I literally gained, the 8 pounds that I lost, I gained 9 pounds in a week taking this, okay? And it has a whole bunch of withdrawal symptoms on its own. So what they're trying to do is they're trying to load me up, you know what I mean, with all these different medications and saying, oh, this will help your anxiety, this will help with blah, blah, blah. You know what I mean? It's all a big trap. To me, it's all a big trap. You know what I mean? Fortunately for me, some of the ones that he put me on, I didn't take. And I'm not prepared to go through this anymore. They ordered me to drug and alcohol treatment because literally I took the equivalent of 4 extra a month. This was over a 3-month time frame. So 4 extra 2 milligram pills I took in 1 month. They ordered me to drug and alcohol rehab. So I have to drive 15 miles to drug and alcohol rehab. I'm holding a barf bucket, throwing up, trying to get to this rehab, going there, trying not to throw up. You know what I mean? I'm in there, I'm ready to puke. I can't, they told me I could have telehealth because I was so sick. And then they took it back and they're like, you can't have telehealth. And I'm like, what in the world? How am I supposed to be withdrawing from this medication, throwing up, can't see, like my vision is so blurry, like there's no way that I should have even been driving. That's how blurry my vision was. So I'm literally endangering myself to drive 15 miles to go to this ordered drug and alcohol program based on their criminal virtue policy in their office, all just to get a benzo. I told him, you're going entirely too fast for me. Cutting me from 2 milligrams to 1 milligram in 2 weeks was massive. I mean, I was dying. But I've managed to I'm down to 0.75, and he made another massive cut again, and they're saying that the message that I left yesterday, that I was threatening and swearing, and I know I didn't swear, I know I didn't threaten anyone or anything like that. So it's just been a real pain in the ass. It's been a pain in the ass and a monkey on my back it doesn't seem worth it. So I don't have a lot of family and friends in the area. I don't really have a support system. So I'm just documenting this on YouTube just to, get it out there. Like, whatever you do, don't let them load you up on a whole bunch of medications because you're withdrawing. Because every single medication has just as bad side effects when you try to come off of them. You know what I mean? Don't let them use you as a guinea pig. That's what they're trying to do to me. Like, the doctor literally said to me, oh, well, the side effects of the new medication are similar to withdrawing. So what are you doing? You're putting me on something that you can't even tell which side effects is what? So this would be 1 month in, benzo withdrawal, massive cut. So I'll make a video tomorrow or within the next couple days if I'm not dead. Sometimes I can't get out of bed. And when I do, I massively rush around to do everything I possibly can and try to find different avenues to survive. For example, we're going to start doing our shopping online and picking it up at Walmart because, one, I shouldn't be driving with my vision as blurry as it is. Two, it was so hard for me to walk around Walmart and do the shopping that I thought I was going to drop over. I'm doing most of my Christmas shopping online, and I'm now I posted something up to try to buy an artificial Christmas tree so I can get my Christmas tree and everything up before I go into massive withdrawals. So I don't know if this will help anybody. Maybe there's someone out there that will help. Maybe if you need to talk to me, let me know. I'm here. I need friends. I need people that are going through a similar thing as me, this benzo, this terrible drug that they put you on. And I had no warnings. There was no warning, oh, this is the hardest drug to get off of and you're going to go into terrible withdrawals. It was just, here you go. And that was it. So that's all for today.